Well, good afternoon, everyone. I'd like to call to order this Tuesday, October 8th meeting of the Pierce County Council. The time is 3:01 p.m. Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Councilmember Campbell.
Here.
Councilmember Kruger.
Here.
Councilmember Denson. Here. Councilmember Herrera.
Here.
Councilmember Hitchin. Here. Councilmember Morrell.
Here.
Councilmember Mello.
Here.
You have 7 members present.
We have all 7 members present and a quorum. Please join us in the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag led by Councilmember Denson, followed by a moment of silence dedicated to our men and women serving overseas in the military, and then the land acknowledgement read by Councilmember Denson. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We acknowledge that we are on the traditional homelands of the Coast Salish tribes. Coast Salish people have lived on and stewarded these lands since time immemorial and continue to do so today. We recognize that this land acknowledgement is one small step towards true allyship, and we commit to uplifting the voices, experiences, and histories of the indigenous people of this land.
Thank you, Councilmember Denson. We're now at Section 4, which is the approval of our agenda. Are there any objections to approving today's agenda as presented? Seeing no objection, the agenda is approved. On today's council agenda, there will be multiple opportunities for public comment. On the consent agenda, you may provide comment on any final action item. This does not include items placed on our consent agenda simply for introduction or scheduling. On today's consent agenda, there are a set of minutes for approval, 2 appointment resolutions for final hearing, and 2 grants for approval. All of those are subject to public comment. Then during Section 9 of the agenda, we will take public comment on each ordinance individually. And then finally, under Community Forum, there will be an opportunity to address the council on any topic that is not up for final action on today's agenda. For information on the rules for public participation, please review the bottom of page 1 of today's agenda. We're now at Section 5, the consent agenda. Does any member wish to pull any item from the consent agenda to the regular meeting agenda? Vice Chair Campbell.
Thank you, Chair. I move approval of the consent agenda as amended, moving items C2A and C2B to Section 8 of the agenda.
It's been properly moved and seconded that we approve the consent agenda with the exception of moving items C2A and C2B under resolutions of the regular meeting. Any other movement of the consent agenda? Not seeing any. This is a public comment on the remaining final action items on the consent agenda. That includes the minutes and the approval of the grant authorizations. Any member of the public wish to provide comment starting here in council chambers? Anyone please come to the podium. And it would be at the very end under Community Forum. Community Forum is at the very end of the meeting, and that's for an opportunity to provide comment to the council on anything that is not on the published agenda. Does that work? Great. Probably about 40 minutes from now or so. Anyone wishing to provide comment on the remaining items on our consent agenda up for fine? Not seeing anyone come to the podium. Mr. Dominique, anybody in the Zoom room for the consent agenda?
For any member of the public that would like to provide comment on today's remaining items on the consent agenda, please press the raise hand icon in Zoom or *9 on your telephone keypad. There are no hands at this time, Chair.
With no hands, we're going to close the public hearing, bring it back to the council. Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll on the consent agenda?
Councilmember Krueger,
Aye.
Councilmember Denson,
Aye.
Councilmember Herrera,
Aye.
Councilmember Hitchin,
Aye.
Councilmember Morel,
Aye.
Councilmember Campbell,
Aye.
Councilmember Mello.
Aye.
The result of the roll call vote is 7 ayes and 0 nays.
On a vote of 7 ayes and 0 nays, the consent agenda is adopted. Under Section 6, messages from the executive and other county elected officials, there are none today. That does move us to Section 7, proclamations, recognitions, awards, and presentations. I'm sorry, Ms. McLeod, do you mind if we dispense of some appointment resolutions before we get to you? Thank you very much for your graciousness. With members' indulgence, so that we can respect the time of volunteers who are seeking appointment to various boards and commissions, is there any objection to moving to those appointment resolutions that we moved off the consent agenda? We'll take them up in the event they need to move on with the rest of their afternoon. Okay, so we moved resolution 2024-218 from the consent agenda. Vice Chair Campbell for a motion, please.
Thank you, Chair. I move proposal number R, 2024-218.
It's been properly moved and seconded that we adopt resolution 2024-218. Madam Clerk, please read the title.
Proposal number R 2024-218, a resolution of the Pierce County Council confirming the appointment of one new member, Amy Wolf, to the Pierce County Conservation Futures and Open Space Citizens Advisory Board.
Thank you. Amy, thank you for joining us. We see you're in our Zoom room. We have the benefit of background material with your with your recommendation for appointment. Thank you for your willingness to serve, Amy. We would love for you to briefly introduce yourself and share why you wish to serve.
Thanks. My name's Amy Wolf, and I found out about the Conservation Futures Board from the University Place Park Advisory Commission. I'm the chair there, and that's how I found out about it. And I'm just excited to be involved with future lands and helping to conserve our open spaces. And so I'm excited to get started.
Thank you so much. Do any council members wish to ask any questions of Amy before we open up for a public hearing? Not seeing any. This is a public hearing on this appointment of Amy Wolf to the Pierce County Conservation Futures and Open Space Citizens Advisory Board. Any member of the public wish to provide comment, starting here in council chambers on this appointment resolution? Not seeing any. Mr. Dominique, anybody in the Zoom room?
For any member of the public that would like to provide comment on proposal number R, 2024-218, please press the raise hand icon on Zoom or *9 on your telephone keypad. There are no hands at this time, Chair.
With no hands, we're going to close the public hearing, bring it back to the council. Any final remarks by council members? Well, Amy, thank you. Excited to appoint you on behalf of District 4 to represent us on the Conservation Futures Advisory Board. They do really important work making significant investment decisions and investment recommendations to the county council. And your background with University Place, Parks and Recreation can only bring that much more good background for collaboration and coordination. So thank you for your willingness to serve in so many different important roles in our community to improve our quality of life. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll on Resolution 2024-218?
Councilmember Denson,
Aye.
Councilmember Herrera,
Aye.
Councilmember Hitchin,
Aye.
Councilmember Morel,
Aye.
Councilmember Campbell,
Aye.
Councilmember Krueger,
Aye.
Councilmember Mello.
Aye.
The result of the roll call vote is 7 ayes and 0 nays.
On a vote of 7 ayes and 0 nays, the resolution is adopted. Thank you, Amy, again for your willingness to serve. We're now at Resolution 2024-219. Councilmember Krueger for a motion, please.
Thank you, Chair. I'd like to move R 2024-219.
Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded that we adopt Resolution 2024-219. Madam Clerk, please read the title.
Proposal number R 2024-219, a resolution of the Pierce County Council confirming the appointment of 2 new members, Teresa Ramsey and Ricky O'Donnell, to the Pierce County Allocation Advisory Committee for Prevention Programs.
Thank you. With this appointment resolution, we have the benefit of these individuals' background materials sent to the council for our review. And we are pleased to have Ricky O'Donnell here in council chambers. Ricky, we would invite you to the podium. Thank you for making your way downtown. We'd invite you to share just a little bit about yourself and why you wish to serve. Welcome.
Thank you very much, Councilmember Mello. I appreciate the council's time today. I am Ricky O'Donnell. I am not a Washington native, but I call Pierce County and the great area of Tacoma my home. I have 2 young boys, a wonderful wife, and I believe that it's time for me to become involved in what happens in this county and to get a foot in the door to help make this county even better than what it is today. I have a strong affinity towards the youth, those who are younger than me that need support in all of this trouble and issues that they face these days. And being able to be a part of the advisory board would allow me to fulfill my own desire to start contributing and even find more opportunities for me to help further.
Thank you, Mr. O'Donnell. Does any member of council have any questions for Mr. O'Donnell? I don't see any. Thank you. Again, we have the benefit of your background material in our digital packet. And Teresa Ramsey is not here, correct, Mr. Dominique?
I do not see here in our Zoom room.
Okay, and not here in council chambers. But we do have the benefit of Teresa's background material in our digital packet. I don't see any questions, so thank you so much for
Understood.
being here.
Thank you.
This is a public hearing on the appointment of these 2 individuals to the Pierce County Allocation Advisory Committee for Prevention Programs. Any member of the public here in council chambers wishing to provide comment? Not seeing anybody come to the podium. Mr. Dominique, anybody in this room?
For any member of the public that would like to provide comment on proposal number R 2024-219, please press the raise hand icon in Zoom or *9 on your telephone keypad. I'm not seeing any hands at this time, Chair.
Seeing no hands, we're going to close the public hearing, bring it back to the council. Any final remarks by council members? Councilmember Cruver.
Thank you, Chair. I just wanted to say thank you so much for taking the time to do this. As a father of 2 young ones, I know that this is very important to you, and I look forward to the great things that you will bring to the commission. Thank you.
I truly appreciate that, Councilmember Cruver.
Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Thank you again to both of these individuals' willingness to serve. You're going to learn a lot, and we look forward to the recommendations you're going to make to us. Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll on Resolution 2024-219?
Councilmember Herrera.
Aye.
Councilmember Hitchin.
Aye.
Councilmember Morrell.
Aye.
Councilmember Campbell.
Aye.
Councilmember Cruver.
Aye.
Councilmember Denson.
Aye.
Councilmember Mello.
Aye.
The result of the roll call vote is 7 ayes and 0 nays.
On a vote of 7 ayes and 0 nays, the resolution is adopted. Thank you very much. We're going to move back to our planned presentation today. We have the benefit of having Rosa McLeod, Government Relations with Tacoma Public Utilities, to present with us on the Tacoma Public Utilities proposed rate changes for 2025 and 2026. While the Pierce County Council does not provide any oversight or governance for Tacoma Public Utilities, many of our constituents, mutual constituents, receive critical services from Tacoma Public Utilities. So Tacoma Public Utilities is making a concerted effort to get the word out so that members of the public, businesses, residents understand what is coming before the Tacoma Public Utility Board and Tacoma City Council, so that there are many opportunities for understanding and giving feedback to these respective bodies. So thank you for working so hard to do this public outreach. We're also joined by John O'Laughlin, Board Chair of the Tacoma Public Utility Board. Thank you for your service and leadership and the strong commitment to community engagement and making sure community members have the information they need to understand and give input. So with no further ado, Ms. McLeod, hand it over to you.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Chair Mello, members of the County Council. I am Rosa McLeod, Regional Relations Manager for Tacoma Public Utilities. Thank you so much for the opportunity to be with you today. As the Chair mentioned, I'd like to introduce John O'Laughlin, our Public Utility Board Chair, who's with us. We also have Michelle Brown, Financial Planning Manager for Tacoma Power, and Andrew Zaremba, our Senior Utilities Economist for Tacoma Water, and they are my phone of friends today, so they'll help me answer any questions you may have that I may not be able to answer. Today, I'll be discussing TPU's proposed residential power and water rate adjustments for the upcoming 2025-2026 biennium. I will start by underscoring that the rates in your material packets are staff proposals. These figures have not been finalized yet. Coming early in this process gives you and your constituents opportunity to ask questions, give us feedback on the rate adjustments. A little later on in my presentation, I will share how customers can provide us with feedback. But I do want to flag that there will be a public hearing at tomorrow's Public Utility Board meeting at 6 p.m. at the TPU campus. The public is invited to give us any thoughts. We also have multiple opportunities for providing comment at future public hearings. The Public Utility Board will vote on the rates adjustment recommendation at the October 23rd meeting. And then these recommendations will go on to the City Council, the Tacoma City Council, for a final vote for approval. So multiple opportunities to come and speak with us in person. Folks can also email us from our website at mytpu.org. Next slide, please. TPU's mission is to deliver clean and reliable services that are essential to our quality of life, as you know. I'll just quickly go over our three utilities. We have Tacoma Power, which provides electricity to over 183,000 customers in our service territory. Tacoma Water, which provides drinking water to over 108,000 customers in our service territory. And then Tacoma Rail, which is a short line rail service mostly providing freight through the Port of Tacoma. And for the purposes of this presentation, I'll stick mainly to our residential rates for power and water, but I'm happy to provide you with any other information at a later date or an additional briefing of anything that might be of interest. And then I'll add that we're honored to serve 85,464 power customers in Pierce County and 43,393 water customers here in Pierce County. Next slide, please. I'll briefly share a quick overview before we get into rates. About TPU, we are a publicly owned utility and run as a cost of service business. This means that we charge customers only what it costs to serve them, and we don't have investors, so we don't pay investors. As a non-for-profit and publicly owned utility, we endeavor to ensure that our ratepayers get the highest value and the highest quality service. We're proud that we've been a part of the Tacoma and surrounding communities since 1893, and we are led by a 5-member public utility board. And we are, of course, a part of the Tacoma City government. So our utility board members are appointed by the mayor of Tacoma and confirmed by the city council, and Jackie Flowers is our director of the utility, and she was appointed to that position in 2018. Next slide, please. And this is a map of our service territory. We have about 180 square miles of power and water service, including our neighbors University Place, Telecom, JBLM, Fircrest Fife, and we serve water all the way north up to Federal Way. Our predecessors were ahead of their time on sustainability and service delivery. They built dams for clean, renewable generation of electricity and created a gravity-based water system which feeds from the Green River. Next slide, please. As a part of the quick overview, I'd like to share how TPU is committed to achieving equity across all of the work that we do. In our service delivery, we strive to work with low-income customers who may be interested, as an example, to increasing their energy efficiency by providing a low-income energy efficiency program where we work with folks who pay the utility bills but may not own the infrastructure. So we do outreach to our landlords to help them, to help our low-income customers get the benefits of energy efficiency. And we have grant and loan programs to address aging residential infrastructure for our cost-burdened customers. We also strive to ensure that customers have access to our programs and services without additional burden. And we're working to ensure that our workforce reflects the communities we serve. So for example, we're working to strengthen pipelines and pathways to livable wage jobs at our utility with a really successful apprentice and pre-apprenticeship program and an internship program. And we have a robust community engagement program where we work to reach out to community members where they live to share information about services, rates, conservation programs, and financial assistance programs. We also have a really wonderful youth services program where we do outreach to K-12 students talking about STEM jobs and how they could get a STEM job at the utility, and also we provide tours of our infrastructure and our facilities. Next slide, please. At TPU, our mission is to deliver quality, reliable power and clean drinking water. We have some of the cleanest power generating resources. We're at about 97% carbon free. The vast majority of our electricity comes from hydropower from our 4 dams in Western Washington, and our drinking water from the Green River watershed is supplied by a primarily gravity-fed system, which feeds a 30-mile pipeline from just west of the Cascades to Tacoma. This system uses minimal power and reduces time, effort, and risk in transporting water. Power and water, as you know, are infrastructure-heavy utilities, and which require maintenance of facilities and systems to deliver our services. We responsibly manage infrastructure to make sure that we get the most lifetime value out of our assets in order to keep rates as low as possible for our customers. Caring for and protecting the land, fish, and wildlife adjacent to our projects is also a critical part of our work. Our environmental stewardship ensures we have sustainable water resources and power resources for years to come. Next slide, please. And on rates, we are committed to gradual and consistent utility rate changes that are stable and predictable over the long term. Gradualism is a big part of what we do. We do that by strategic long-term planning and a phased approach to any rate changes, and we are laser focused on keeping rates as affordable as possible for our customers. We really work to avoid sudden or drastic spikes in costs for our customers, and as I mentioned earlier, we only bill customers for the costs required to serve them. TPU is funded by rates and not by tax dollars. So as we continue this discussion, I really want to center that we understand that rate revisions can be difficult and challenging for some of our customers, and we're sensitive to that for sure. I'd like to share a little bit on why we adjust rates. Next slide, please. Like you and other governments, we make decisions for the long-term benefit of the communities that we serve. Rates cover the cost to provide safe and reliable services, to maintain our utility infrastructure, to protect natural resources near our facilities, and to invest in system improvements. So rate adjustments really are necessary to maintain the services that we provide. And they cover the cost of inflation on our operational and capital expenses, as well as support customer assistance programs. So Council, if I may, I think it's pretty safe to say that most municipal governments are facing the same pressures that TPU is facing: increased costs, supply chain shortages, and the need to maintain aging infrastructure. And those are really the main cost drivers that are impacting the rates this upcoming biennium. I'll provide some examples, and I'm sure they'll sound all too familiar, unfortunately. We're seeing major cost escalations in insurance, equipment, and supply costs. We have delays and difficulty in buying equipment, which in turn results in higher costs and delayed implementation. I will share that transformers now cost 282% more than they did just a few years ago. Wire prices are up 137%, and utility poles are up almost 50%. So across the board, escalation has a major impact on our rates. We do need to maintain and improve aging infrastructure to ensure not only safety and reliability, but also to adhere to federal regulations that, as I'm sure you're aware, constantly evolve and change. As I mentioned, we're infrastructure heavy, so some examples of what we're required to do is seismic retrofitting of our dams. We have grid modernization costs, FISP passage, and mitigation requirements at our hydro projects. These are just some of the expenses that we factor into rate adjustments. Next slide, please. So staff have proposed a rate adjustment for the 2025-2026 biennium, but what are we doing to keep rates low? And what are we doing to manage cost and affordability? In addition to the long-term financial planning and a gradual approach to rate changes, these are some of the actions we take to manage affordability for our customers. We try to take advantage as much as possible of state and federal grants to leverage our ratepayer dollars to get projects and initiatives across the finish line. We refinance bonds and loans to lock in lower interest rates. We've been recycling and selling equipment and property and refurbishing assets so that they can safely extend their lifelong usefulness. We've been increasing the sales of surplus power and water to other utilities, and then we are always working to implement new and more efficient processes. Next slide, please. Another way we manage affordability for our customers is through our assistance programs. We certainly understand that paying bills can be challenging for our cost-burdened customers. We have several assistance programs for those in need. Our main program is the Bill Credit Assistance Program, or BCAP. If a household is at or below 60% area median income, they qualify for a bill credit, which is a monthly discount. If you are low income, elderly, or disabled, you qualify for an automatic 35% discount on your bill. And then we have an additional program where if you are on an assistance program and you pay your bill on time and in full, you can receive an additional automatic credit on your monthly bill. Our enrollment, our BCAP enrollment goal is 10,000. Right now we're at about 8,223 enrollees. We also have about 7,725 people enrolled in our low-income elderly disabled assistance program service territory wide. And just for comparison's sake, at the start of this biennium, we had about 1,300 people enrolled in our assistance program. So we've really done tremendous work to get the word out there and to tell folks what is available. We would love to partner with you on opportunities to get the word out on social media or on your newsletters. I will note that staff have also proposed an increase to our assistance programs dollar amounts as well to help mitigate the rate increases on income burden customers. Next slide, please. So here are the proposed residential rate adjustments for the 2025-2026 biennium. For our power customers, the proposed increase for power is a 6.5% increase in 2025 and a 6.5% increase in 2026. And again, I'll remind you that these are not final numbers. They're still up for consideration before the Public Utility Board and City Council. So what will a 6.5% increase each year of the next biennium look like on a typical power bill? The average monthly power bill will increase by about $6.72 in 2025 and $7.09 in 2026. Next slide, please. And this is a graph to give you an illustration of how our assistance programs help our most cost-burdened customers before I move into water rates. So this graph shows a bill comparison between a power customer and a power customer's monthly bill on a power customer who's enrolled in one of our assistance programs. On the first column on the left, you'll see an average power bill of about $105.93 per month. On the next column to the right, we'll show the average bill with the monthly power bill with the Bill Credit Assistance Program discount applied. This is a $25.30 discount per month for a new total bill of $80.63. On the third column to the right, you'll see an average bill, this time with the low-income elderly disabled automatic credit applied, a 35% discount for a new monthly power bill of $69.89, down from $105. And then on the fourth column to the farthest right, you'll see the typical $105 bill reduced to $59.63. This is for a customer who's been enrolled in the Bill Credit Assistance Plan, who has paid their monthly bill on time and in full, and they have received an additional $21 for that off the top of their bill. So a customer can get a total of up to 44% credit on their bill in assistance programs. Next slide, please. On this slide, this graph shows how our regional power rates are competitive compared to our peer utilities in the region. So here you're seeing our 2024 rates for TPU and our local partners, so Clark County PUD, Snohomish PUD, Puget Sound Energy. And then on the top of the Tacoma Power bill, you'll see, or power column, you'll see our 2025 rate in yellow and the 2026 rate in green. So even compared to regional power utilities 2024 rates, our 2025 and 2026 rates are competitive and some of the lowest in the region. Next slide, please. At the risk of having too many graphs, this graph is another visual of our discount program for our income-constrained customers. So on the left cluster of columns, you'll see the 2024 bill credit, currently at $25.30 per month, and an additional $21 achievable credit if a customer pays in full and on time for our 2024 numbers. The second set of columns in the middle shows the proposed 2025 bill credit amount at $28.30 a month, with the achievable extra credit of $21 applied if the monthly bill is paid on time and in full. And on the third column to the farthest right, you'll see the proposed 2026 Bill Credit Assistance Program amount, so the discount of $31.30, in addition to the achievable $21 if the bill is paid in full and on time. So the proposed Bill Credit Assistance Program really mitigates the rate increases for our most vulnerable customers. Next slide, please. Now onto our residential water rate proposal for the 2025-26 biennium. The average, staff have proposed an average increase for 6.3% in 2025 and 6.3% in 2026. So on a typical monthly bill, In 2025, your bill will go up by $3.46, and in 2026, your bill will go up by $3.67. Next slide, please. Per month. And my final graph, this shows you how Tacoma Water's monthly rates compare to other regional drinking water providers. And again, you'll see that Tacoma Water rates are competitive. Next slide, please. Oh, I'm sorry, I do have one more graph. Okay. This final graph does illustrate customer assistance totals. And I'll direct you to the top line of the table, electricity on the right. So for 2024, a cost-burdened customer can receive $25.30 off of their monthly power bill if they're at or below 60% AMI. And then moving to the right, plus an additional $21 if their bill is paid on time and in full, for a total monthly discount of $46.30 a month. And a total annual discount of $555.60 a year. On the second line for drinking water, a customer who's enrolled in BCAP receives a $7 discount off of their monthly bill with an additional $5 in an achievable credit if their water bill is paid on time and in full, for a monthly total discount of $12 per month, which totals $144 in discounts per year. Next slide, please. And then briefly, I'd like to cover how TPU works with customers to help them lower their bills, to decrease the cost of utility bills. We have a few options. One is conservation, of course. Being energy efficient and conserving water is always a good way to decrease your utility bill, and it's good for the environment. Our conservation programs offer rebates for efficiencies in your home. We have staff who will come out and do an energy audit or a water audit, and they'll work with you to identify where you may have areas that you could become more efficient and identify potential water or energy waste. We offer zero interest loans for things like ductless heat pumps, central heat pumps, and window insulation replacements. And then we offer income qualified homeowners a deferred energy efficiency loan. So you'll take out a loan that will help you get your home to be more energy efficient, and it's only due at the time when you sell your house. These are things that we can do to help our customers in addition to enrolling our income burdened customers in our assistance programs. There's a lot more information on how things we can do to help our customers. Please visit our website for more information. Next slide, please. And then here's the information we will share where folks and your constituents can come to see more information about rate changes, the process as it's going through the budget process for TPU, and folding into the city's larger budget process for the 2025-2026 biennium. We have a lot of public comment opportunities coming up where folks are welcome to attend in person or drop an email or call in. And there are multiple opportunities, again, for public comment, both at the Public Utility Board meetings that are coming up and at the Tacoma City Council meetings. I really encourage the public to tune in and attend. We really want to hear from you and what you have to say. And we also want to hear from you, our government partners. So again, thank you so much for the opportunity. Next slide, please. And I've reached the end of my presentation, and my colleagues and I are happy to take any questions you may have.
Well, thank you, Ms. McLeod. Thank you for making an effort to reach out to us, even though we just want to make really clear that Pierce County Council does not have any decision-making role here. You proactively reached out to us to make sure we were informed so we can try to answer questions with our mutual constituents and your ratepayers, and make sure that we had many more channels to make sure that, again, mutual constituents and ratepayers have the opportunity to get the benefit of this information and know how to reach the decision makers, which is the Tacoma Public Utility Board and the Tacoma City Council. So thank you for making these efforts to do that. What questions do my colleagues have? We'll start with Councilmember Denson. Excuse me, real quick. There's a, Ms. Long, do you have something?
Nope, we're going to swap. We got it.
Okay. Confusing me here. Apologies for that. Councilor Denson.
I don't think I have any questions. I just wanted to thank you for your outreach. I was at a North End Neighborhood Council meeting last month, I think, and a number of your staff actually were there presenting on these rates and taking questions. So I was just really impressed by the outreach. I haven't heard any concerns from my constituents yet. I will certainly forward this on if I hear, but you all are doing a great job educating people about what you do, why you charge what you charge, and what folks get for their money. So thank you.
Thank you, Council Member. That's great to hear. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Coover.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you for all of that information. There's a lot there to keep track of. And I will say is that someone's power is kind of a life and death thing, and sometimes there's outages. In fact, I think it might be a different carrier, though, where there has been kind of a consistent outages going on in a trailer park, but it might be someone else. If it's you, I'll find you.
I can follow up with you, Councilmember. We'll find out.
I'm just curious. So everything is done for cost of service. And so Tacoma Power, as you were listing off, does so many other things as well that aren't related to the basic service, getting the service to the customer so they have their power. There's a lot of the other programs, the environmental programs, the loans and whatnot. If you were to specifically just do the business of supplying power, what difference would that happen in the expenses of Tacoma Power and what gets to the price of delivering electricity to a home?
I may defer to my phone a friend over here, but Councilmember, I will say the mitigation and environmental work that we do is a requirement of us being able to use the assets we have to generate hydro. So one can't go with the other, if that makes sense.
Okay. And you have Alder Dam, correct?
We do, yes.
Okay. And is there any maintenance, such as silt removal, in the works or being discussed? Because I think that is something that has been of concern in the neighborhood.
Yes, you're right, Councilmember. Thank you for that. I can double check and I'll have to get back to you on that. Apologies, I don't know off the top of my head.
I appreciate that.
Certainly.
And what percentage of the power that you generate is hydro versus non-hydro?
97%. So that's why we say
97%
virtually
hydro.
carbon-free.
Okay, I was thinking actually did give me that number in there. It just didn't seem, it was kind of like, wow, that's a lot. And I just, so because that's carbon-free, then you wouldn't have had many expenses then in having to become carbon-free as far as, or.
Well, if I'm understanding your question correctly, Councilmember, we didn't have to work to become carbon-free, but we are required to do some mitigation where we are near our facilities because we are using those resources for water and for power, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. And I have to say, I feel your pain in the cost of materials and all of the theft that goes on, and then the shortage of utility poles because of restrictions on harvesting, and that's a lot of nature that you're dealing with. And I guess one last thing that, I might want to ask. You had mentioned the window replacement for. Not knowing what kind of windows are being put in there, what is the return on investment on that? Because I'm understanding windows are very expensive, and I don't know what they would save in a monthly bill. And are they paid for in 2 years or 40 years?
Councilmember, I'm going to have to get back to you on that. I'm sorry, I don't know the intricacies of that program, but I will find out and let you know as soon as I can.
Okay. And last, Chair, thank you. Because I know a lot of times people are like, well, what would I comment on? I don't want my power bill to go up. What else can I say? What things are you looking for in information from your constituents that you would want to hear for comments on these rate increases or
and I might
expectations?
defer to our board chair if you'd like to, perhaps. But I would start by saying, we are always interested to hear what our ratepayers have to say and what concerns them the most. Are we creating the right type of assistance programs? Is there something that we could be doing better? So we're always happy to, we always want to hear what our communities are saying.
She bought you time, Chair O'Loughlin.
Thank you. My name is John O'Loughlin. I'm the chair of the Public Utility Board. I think it's an open-ended question, and so we want to hear what people want to tell us. And I think, clearly nobody likes a rate increase. If they had their choice, they would not. But it's not possible in today's environment to continue to deliver that reliable service without, covering our costs. And that's, the rate increases only cover the costs. And so, that's the message we try to get out. And so, we're looking to hear from the public what they want to tell us and provide that as an opportunity to engage in a conversation to help educate them on maybe some things, because having worked in utilities for 30 plus years, I realize that a lot of people don't understand, all the things that go on behind. They've turned the switch and the light comes on, and that's great. And that's we're doing our job when that happens, but there's a lot behind that too.
I guess a lot of it is that we're in the private sector. They don't have the ability to just raise their prices and have the monopoly on who uses the services. And so that makes it difficult to, what does the private sector have to do to make the ends meet versus what a public utility gets to do. So I'm just trying to balance. And would it be correct to assume that if one bill is $100 and someone else who is on assistance is $60, that difference in $40 that is in a benefit is dispersed or redistributed amongst other ratepayers?
True. We cover all of our costs of all of our programs from all of our customers.
Okay.
And we have a cost of service model that helps do the best job we can to make sure that the customers that are benefiting from services pay for those.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Thank you, Chair O'Loughlin, for your willingness to answer some questions. Councilmember Morell.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Appreciate the presentation and the graphs.
Thank you, Councilmember.
But I have a few questions. TPU doesn't have, in other words, it's a public utility, right?
That's right.
So you don't have stockholders that you're responsible for a return on their investment or anything?
That's correct. We're only responsible to our customers.
Okay. Is any of the funds from TPU, does it go to the city of Tacoma at all?
State law prohibits utility dollars from going to the general functions of the Tacoma city government, so no, they don't.
Okay, great. Appreciate that. And
Oh, we pay taxes. Thank you.
Thank you. I know you strive to give as complete answers as possible.
Sure. Thank you, Councilmember. So we do, while utility rates are used to pay for utility costs, the city of Tacoma does institute what's called a gross earnings tax on utility earnings, just like they would a sales tax or a tax on any other utility operating within the service territory of the city. So Tacoma Power pays a 7.5% gross earnings tax on any rate revenue, and Tacoma Water pays an 8% gross earnings tax on rate revenue to the city.
And I guess the reason why I asked that, in the media lately, city of Tacoma is trying to fill a very large backfill or a deficit, and one of the things they did talk about was rate increases. So that would be on top of what are you anticipating that they will increase the rates on your utilities?
There's no proposed increase on the percentage tax on utility rates. All of the rate adjustments that Ms. McLeod went over today are solely to pay for utility costs. No part of the rate increase that was presented today was an increase solely to fill a budget gap by the city.
Okay. But in the future, you still have to cover a cost.
That's true. If there were a case in which the gross earnings tax rate were to be changed, then that would flow through into rates. But none of the proposals today have been made in order to fill a budget gap from the city.
Great. I appreciate you explaining that.
Before you leave the podium, can you introduce yourself for the record, please?
Oh, I'm sorry. My name is Andrew Zaremba. I'm a senior utilities economist with Tacoma Water.
Thank you.
Okay. And you talked about residential rates. What about industrial commercial rates?
We do have, included in the packet materials, we did have our sheet showing all of the class rates. Today I just covered residential, but you should have those, and if not, I'm happy to email that to you, council member.
Okay.
And it would look like this, included in your packet materials.
Okay. Great. Thank you. Couple more questions, and I'll leave you alone. You have obviously kept up with technologies as far as meter reading, implementing any AI program into your systems and processes. How are you recapturing some of your costs through those type of innovations?
We'll defer to my colleagues if possible. Thank you, Andrew.
Thank you, Councilmember. So you are correct. Tacoma Water recently finished the implementation of the advanced metering program, which replaced every meter within our system to provide us with hourly reads of consumption, as opposed to prior, where the only insight we had into customer usage was a 2-month bill, 2-month consumption bill. So some of the ways that we're able to utilize that data to sort of get to some sort of return on investment on that cost is, one example I am immediately aware of is we are able to detect issues or outages within our system more quickly. That may not necessarily translate easily to how much money did we save from this, but it provides a better level of service for our customers. So in one instance, we had crews who had to open and close a valve within our system, and by the time they got back to the office, they had noticed that within our advanced meters were telling us that we had major pressure drops in that area. Crews were redispatched back to the area and identified that a rock had been lodged in the valve, and that's something that we wouldn't have been able to identify as quickly as we had before the implementation of these meters. It would have had to come from a customer saying, hey, at 2 o'clock yesterday, my pressure's dropped and they haven't come back. What's going on with that? Another thing that we're able to do now that we have these advanced meters is we can much more closely get an understanding of what is driving customer usage of our resource, of water. That gives us a better capability to forecast usage in the future, meaning we can tie potential weather patterns with consumption better, and that gives us lets us really tighten down the lug nuts on our forecasting. So the forecast is a really important part of our rate profile. We need to know what people are using so we know how much to charge, and by getting a better understanding of how usage changes seasonally, that gives us a better opportunity to charge the right price for our product.
Okay. Good, thank you. You had mentioned, I don't think you can stay there.
Sure.
I think you were going to get into, I know wire theft used to be a big problem. Are you seeing any trends?
Sure.
Is it going up? Is it going down?
I may have to defer to my power counterpart on that question.
Please introduce yourself for the record.
Sure. I'm Michelle Brown, Tacoma Power Financial Planning Manager. So I am not aware that the wire theft has impacted, our wire costs have gone up, but I'm not sure that that is the result of wire theft. So I don't really have a very good answer for you on that. You can look into it.
Okay. One last question, I promise. There was a lot in the news several years ago pertaining to substation protection. You don't have to tell me what you've done, but I assume you've done something to increase security on substations.
So we have done something. I am not exactly sure. I'll have to follow up on that as well. What I do, I know we have some projects in regards to that, capital projects to address that. But.
Okay.
Thank you for following up on the various items that Councilmember Morell.
Thank you, Councilmember. We'll get you that information. Thank you, Councilmember.
Vice Chair Kimball.
Thank you, Chair. It's been a while since I've got to grill utilities. I just want to thank you for coming out, sharing, because we do have a lot of shared customers. And I haven't really had that many complaints come into my office about utilities, water or power. And when I have, you guys are right on it and taking care of it. And so I know that you guys do a good job. A lot of these questions, I know the board asks and the other councils ask, and you guys are always very good about coming back with information if you don't have it. So I just want to thank you. I can think of twice in 20 years in East Tacoma I've lost power, and both have been one was planned and one wasn't for a very short period. So I know you guys work hard at keeping a very stable and well-resourced network that has bypasses and is duplicative. So thank you for all the work that you do at running what is recognized as one of the better utilities in the nation.
Thank you very much, Councilmember.
Thank you. Councilmember Hitchin.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you for being here. I just had two questions. One is on the Tacoma water rate comparison. It says Tacoma and then parentheses outside the city. Do you not provide water inside the city?
We do, but there's a small difference between the rate inside of the city versus the water rate outside of the city.
Okay, so the one on the graph is for the outside the city?
Correct.
Okay.
Yep.
And then my second question is around, I've noticed I'm one of your customers for electricity only, and we've gotten a lot more, I guess, information over the last 2 years around my comparison of energy use to other neighbors and houses of the same size. And I'm just wondering, are you seeing that level of education improving people's efficiency and trying to shift to, are you seeing outcomes? Because, I mean, I didn't track my energy use 5 years ago. I don't remember, but you all do, and you send it to me pretty regularly. And I'm just wondering if you're seeing improvements, changes in behaviors and that kind of thing, if that is helping.
Thank you, Council Member. I don't know off the top of my head. I'll have to check in with the power side, unless my subject matter experts have. Oh, they do. Great.
That's a great question. So we are still in the process of, I think, deploying our AMI meters. And so we don't have the visibility internally to actually be able to assist in that way. So right now, we are not tracking how usage is changing based on the information we're providing, but at some point we will.
Okay. It's just always whenever I get the comparison to the year before and I kind of think about like, what was the weather like? Did I go on a vacation? Did I close up the house better? Like all the things that I can control.
Yeah.
And then that thought process. But then when I see houses doing better than me, I always go, what are they doing? So I'm a little competitive about that.
At some point, we will have the AMI data in order to actually maybe provide customers feedback and have hopefully something that you can control on your end and how you use your power.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Councilmember Herrera.
Thank you, Chair. And I just have one question, kind of going in the weeds, but it does relate to, I think, to some rates. You operate, I think, 4 different dams?
Yes.
Yeah,
4
so like
major dams.
One on the Skokomish, Wenatchee River, the Squally, and the Cowlitz, I think, right?
We are on. Yes, please.
Sure. Sorry. We operate 4 projects. We actually own 7 dams.
Oh, wow.
So each project has an upper dam and a lower dam, and then there's a pipe where the water flows through and generates electricity, right? And both actually have the ability to generate electricity, so we do have to maintain and operate 7 dams.
Okay, thank you. And just, you know, there has been talk, you know, way in the future of dam removals or maybe new regulations, especially salmon producing rivers, which a lot of those are that we just named here, on how much water we are allowed during spawning season. How does that affect rates, or is there any threat of any dam removals on any of the projects that you may have in the future? Tough question, I know, but I'm just a thought.
So right now we don't have any plans to remove our dams.
I didn't think you would, but I mean.
That's good. As far as fish mitigation, that is actually a very expensive. There are costs associated with that are part of the rates, and those are, everybody gets to share in those costs. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Councilmember Coover.
Thank you, Chair, and thank you for other members for creating more questions for me. Do you get much of your portfolio in wind and solar?
We have a much smaller wind and solar footprint. I wonder if my power SME would like to comment.
I'm not. The amount of wind and solar is very small, but we do not. We have, I think, a solar on top of one of our buildings at the most.
Okay.
It's a very small footprint.
And then I didn't catch the meaning on AMI meters. Is that the smart meters? Same thing?
Yes.
Okay. And those are the ones that give you the ability to turn power off and on?
Yeah.
And
yeah, right now we don't have the ability, we don't have something for the customer, I think, to use in order to control our power, but we're still installing them.
And I'm kind of curious in plans for expansion and that you kind of hear chatter and such at, you know, the power sucking. units that are for data storage and how much power they take, and do we have capacity for that at this time, or what capacity would we have to be able to service those kinds of endeavors?
So great questions. Right now, we do not have a data storage facility seeking power from us. So we are not providing power to any data storage facilities. Should they need power from us, then it may be into the future that we might need to acquire more resources, but right now we are projecting we are completely fine for the next, 7 years.
Okay. Because just from things that I read about across the country, I'm really concerned on the grid capacity and powering up to the mandates. And I heard concerns with the diesel truckers where they can't even get the machines to make the law, and then we don't have the grid to charge them even if we did. So do you have any comments or crystal ball on what customers could be expecting in power in the future with the upcoming demands?
I don't have that crystal ball. I do know we have a load forecast. And like I said, it looks like based on our forecast and considering conservation from our customers, should be fine for about the next 7 years with what power we can provide, given our current resources.
That is all I have. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Councilmember Morell.
Thank you. I misspoke. My question is mainly from a customer service standpoint. I haven't gotten any recently, but I was getting on a regular basis complaints from customers that mainly had large commercial projects and they were getting stacked and not being able to get their pipes and systems in place. And they were told that they were a number on a list and that was it. And so some of them took 4 to 6 months to get their hookups, and they were told that you could not use outside contractors or consultants, and that it is what it is. And of course, you being a monopoly, there's not much they could do about it but wait, and in industrial and commercial projects, time's money. So I haven't heard anything lately about that, but I would hope that things have gotten better with workforce and supply chain issues and other things. But like I say, I was getting regular calls, and I'm mainly talking about the Bonnie Lake area.
Okay.
So if you need a geographic area, that's the one.
Thank you, Council Member. And I just want to underscore, I will be your point of contact. If a constituent issue ever comes up, please let me know. And we will, work quickly to, that sounds like something I would have connected to our account executives who work with our commercial customers. Please let me know how I can plug your constituents into who they need to talk to at the utility and how I can be of assistance there. Thank you, Council Member, for flagging that.
We had email chain going with you folks and the company involved. So anyway, that would be easy to get you a name, but it was just unfortunate of the situation, the time, and I hate to say some of the attitude that was the customer felt from TPU as far as their hookup goes.
So I'm sorry to hear that, Council Member.
Yeah.
Please let me know next time.
Thank you. I'm done. Really.
Clearly, there's a lot of interest in the work. Thank you for seeking our input and feedback. I do want to ask you a question before you leave, but I do want to sincerely thank you for reaching out, giving us the opportunity to give input, learn, and so that we can do our part to answer questions and know how to refer folks. So thank you.
Thank you,
Two brief questions, I think, in closing. You offered to continue to get the word out about your bill credit assistance programs. Thank you for that. I think your team is plugged into the work of the Assessor Treasurer's Office, where that right now the Assessor Treasurer's Office is the department in county government that leads our property tax exemption program for low-income seniors and low-income disabled folks. And there's just an obvious real overlap of the universe of individuals that are who qualify for various programs. So we want to remind you of that, remind you of hopefully having a really tight relationship and partnership there. The council has recently allocated more resources to the Assessor Treasurer's Office to get the word out more about the property tax exemption program. And just seems like an efficient way to continue to get the word out about the programs. Those folks are trying to reduce their property taxes to stay in their homes. I'm sure they would love to reduce their utility bills to also continue to stay in their homes and that sort of thing. So we want to remind you of that.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Chair.
The last thing is a question about the Climate Commitment Act. We know that the Tacoma Public Utilities has been very active in trying to get as many resources from the Climate Commitment Act for constituents here at home so that constituents can get bill credits that they might be available for. You ran a robust program to get up to a $200 bill credit program. You deployed Climate Commitment Act dollars to do a shore power project to clean up shore power for ships in the Port of Tacoma, so that when they're traveling here, they can plug in instead of polluting with fossil fuels. They could plug in and use locally generated power and save money and save on pollution while here. And an appliance change-out program was funded through Tacoma Public Utilities using Climate Commitment Act money to get folks off of dirtier appliances onto cleaner appliances and save money with electrified appliances. Can you share anything about how those programs are going that are funded through the Climate Commitment Act?
Absolutely, and I should also give the council a thanks for helping us get the word out. We were able to give, I think, $7.5 million out to, I think, 35,000 Tacoma Power customers for a one-time $200 power bill credit this September, which should have hit their bills this September, from the CCA. So thank you we had a quick turnaround time to get those dollars out, and so we really appreciate your help in getting those out to our neediest customers. I don't have other numbers or metrics out for you, Chair, but I can get those for you. But we certainly have appreciated our partners at the state that are helping us help our most neediest customers with those dollars.
Thank you. Any follow-up you can do with us on any numbers you might have about how those programs are going, and please continue to reach out to us to collaborate on getting the word out on any opportunities we have for our mutual constituents to save money. We're all for that, and we're always willing to be a partner in doing that.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Thank you. Thanks for, I know you have a lot of follow-up to do based on a lot of comments and questions today. Thank you in advance, and all the work you're going to do to take all the feedback you get and continue with your decision-making process. We're on to section 9, ordinances. We have two ordinances on our agenda. We have ordinance 2024-549S before us. Councilmember Morell for a motion, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I move for consideration proposal ordinance number 2024-549S.
It's been properly moved and seconded that we adopt ordinance 2024-549S. Madam Clerk, please read the title.
Proposal number O 2024-549S, an ordinance of the Pierce County Council granting a non-exclusive franchise to the City of Bonnie Lake for location of water lines on certain county-owned rights-of-way and authorizing the county executive to execute said franchise.
Thank you. Mr. Swanson to brief the council.
Thank you, Chair Mello and members of the council. Before you is proposed ordinance O 2024-549S, which would authorize the executive to execute a 10-year initial franchise agreement with the City of Bonnie Lake that would allow for the construction, operation, maintenance, and maintenance of a water pipeline system in the Pierce County right-of-way. The City of Bonnie Lake Water Utility operates in unincorporated portions of District 1. There is a map available on page 78 of your packet. As a Group A water system, this application has been reviewed by Planning and Public Works staff under the Coordinated Water System Plan. It has been found to be consistent with that plan. Also, the county engineer did review the application and does recommend granting this franchise. An equity analysis has also been completed and is included in your packet. A $2,500 application fee has been paid by the applicant. That is also documented in your packets. And a public hearing was held in the Economic and Infrastructure Development Committee on October 8th, where the proposal was forwarded with a due pass as amended recommendation. With that, Mr. Chair, council staff and Mr. Oniski from Planning and Public Works staff, we are available for any questions members may have.
Thank you, Mr. Swanson. Mr. Oniski, anything to add on behalf of the department?
No, not at this time. I think Tom Swanson explained everything pretty well.
Thank you. Are there any questions or comments by council before we open up for a public hearing? Not seeing any. This is a public hearing on this franchise agreement. Any member of the public wishing to provide comment, starting here in council chambers? Anyone here from the public to provide comment on this franchise agreement? If you're here for the franchise agreement, you can make comment. Not seeing any. Mr. Dominique, anybody in our Zoom room?
For any member of the public wishing to provide comment on proposal number O, 2024-549S, please press the raise hand icon in Zoom or *9 on your telephone keypad. And we have one hand at this time. First name, Nancy. Please state your name for the record, and you have 3 minutes.
Nancy, we see you're muted. This is a public hearing on this franchise agreement with the City of Bonnie Lake. Is that what your comment is on?
It was about the Tacoma Power thing because there was no area to comment on that.
Correct. You can wait for community forum if you wish to provide comment on anything like that or anything else, which will be in just a couple of agenda items.
Okay.
Thank you. Anyone else, Mr. Dominique?
There are no more hands at this time, Chair.
With no hands, we're going to close the public hearing, bring it back to the council. Are there final remarks by council members? Councilmember Morell.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. All I can say is the check cleared, so let's support this moving forward. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other remarks? Not seeing any. Madam Clerk, please call the roll on ordinance 2024-549S.
Councilmember Hitchin.
Aye.
Councilmember Morell.
Aye.
Councilmember Campbell.
Aye.
Councilmember Krueger.
Aye.
Councilmember Denson.
Aye.
Councilmember Herrera.
Aye.
Councilmember Mello.
Aye.
The result of the roll call vote is 7 ayes and 0 nays.
On a vote of 7 ayes and 0 nays, the ordinance is adopted. We have proposal O 2024-551S before us. Councilmember Denson for a motion.
Yes, thank you, Chair. I move proposal number O 2024-551S.
Second. It's been properly moved and seconded that we adopt ordinance 2024-551S. Madam Clerk, please read the title.
Proposal number O 2024-551S, an ordinance of the Pierce County Council granting a non-exclusive franchise to the Canoga Beach Water System for location of water lines on certain county-owned rights-of-way and authorizing the county executive to execute said franchise.
Thank you. Mr. Swanson, to brief the council.
Thank you again, Mr. Chair. The second franchise agreement before you this afternoon is proposed ordinance O 2024-551S, which would again authorize the executive to execute a 10-year initial franchise agreement with the Canoga Beach Water System. That would allow for the construction, operation, and maintenance of a water pipeline system in Pierce County's right-of-way. Canoga Beach operates a small water system in District 7 out on Key Peninsula. A map is available on page 103 of your packet. Unlike the previous franchise, this is actually a Group B water system, meaning that it is not subject to review review under the Coordinated Water System Plan, as it is a much smaller system. However, it is reviewed by the Tacoma-Pierce County Health Department, and the Health Department has found no issues with this application. Again, the county engineer did also review this application and does recommend granting of the franchise. An equity analysis has been completed and is included in your packet. And again, the $2,500 application fee has been paid to the county. Again, a public hearing was held in Economic and Infrastructure Development on, actually not on October 8th, I'm sorry, that was held on October 8th is today. It was held on September 24th, actually, a couple weeks ago, where the proposal was forwarded with a due pass as amended recommendation. And again, we have both the council staff and, again, Mr. Oniski from Planning and Public Works available to answer any questions.
Thank you. Mr. Oniski, anything to add on behalf of the Planning and Public Works Department?
No, sir, not at this time.
Thank you for being available. Do any council members have any questions before we open up for a public hearing? Councilmember Morrell.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I know this is a small water district. Is $2,500 the minimum amount?
The application fee doesn't vary based on the size of the water district. Yes, so $2,500 is the application fee for a franchise agreement.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks for the question. Any other questions? Not seeing any. This is a public hearing on this franchise agreement. Any member of the public wish to provide comments starting here in council chambers? Not seeing anybody come to the podium. Mr. Dominique, anybody in the Zoom room?
For any member of the public that would like to provide comment on proposal number O, 2024-551S, please press the raise hand icon in Zoom or *9 on your telephone keypad. There are no hands at this time, Chair.
With no hands, we'll close the public hearing, bring it back to the council. Are there final remarks by council members? Seeing none, Madam Clerk, please call the roll on ordinance 2024-551S.
Councilmember Morrell.
Aye.
Councilmember Campbell.
Aye.
Councilmember Krueger.
Aye.
Councilmember Denson.
Aye.
Councilmember Herrera.
Aye.
Councilmember Hitchin.
Aye.
Councilmember Mello.
Aye.
The result of the roll call vote is 7 ayes and 0 nays.
On a vote of 7 ayes and 0 nays, the ordinance is adopted. That concludes our business for the afternoon. We're now at Community Forum, Section 10. Thank you for your patience. Community Forum is an opportunity for members of the public to address the council on any topic that is of significance to or affecting Pierce County government and that did not appear for final action on today's agenda. There is a 3-minute time limit. Please state your name if you would like it on the record and address all your questions or comments to the chair. We'll start with those in council chambers. Now is your opportunity. Thank you again for being patient. There's a timer to your right. Welcome. On the TV screen here to the right.
Okay. My name is Latarsha Atwood, and in January of this year, my husband and I bought a house last year, and a lady was raped right in the back of my home. I came up here so many times. I even talked to Mary Strickland. I left a message with Marty Campbell, and I also asked his secretary to email everyone to let them know about what's going on in our neighborhood. Now, I am a real goddess, and I know a lot of people don't understand what that means to me, but I have protection with me from the heavens. So when I am driving, right now I have a lawsuit, not a lawsuit, but I have a claim with Safeco Liberty Mutual, because what I am telling them is that when I am driving on the road, people are hitting me from the back. And so what my angelic team is telling me is that I need to come up here and talk to the council members and ask them to please take me seriously. If you come to my neighborhood, there are no stop signs. There are homemade signs. We paid $460,000 for our home. And I know that's not a lot to you guys because your homes are way more than that. But for me and my husband, it means something. When you walk or you even go around my neighborhood, we pay so much money in taxes. Our utility bills are out the roof. Everything is expensive. But you mean to tell me you can't make our neighborhoods safe? There are no stop signs. So if someone is actually protecting me from another dimension, there is no rules. Everyone is just passing me up, and people are hitting me. So I'm trying to tell Safeco Liberty Mutual, they're frustrated with me and I'm frustrated with them. I'm telling them it's not me, because I am driving and I am obeying all of the rules, and people are hitting me from behind. Is it a possibility that the protection with me is telling them to stop? There is a sign that should be, because maybe there is a plan that you guys have, but maybe you haven't went to put the signs on the actual roads, stop, dead end, and things of that nature. Well, it's hurting me. I'm living in a low vibrational area, because in my area there's a lot of homeless people, and they're bringing them right in the back of my home. So I prayed to God and I asked him to please send me all the protection you can, because it's just me sometimes. My husband works, sometimes he goes out of town. So one day I was at home and something told me to go to the back door. I went to the back door. There was something there that was all steel. And if you contact the United States government or the Air Force, I don't know where it came from. I didn't ask. I can't see it. But when I put my hand out to feel it, it was steel. So what
Thank you.
Okay.
We'll be, your council member will be here after the meeting, and we can continue the conversation with you. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
There's no other members of the public in council chambers. Mr. Dominique, anybody in the Zoom room for community forum?
For any member of the public that would like to provide comment on proposal number, who would like to participate in community forum, please press the raise hand icon in Zoom or *9 on your telephone keypad. And we have one hand at this time. Nancy, please state your name for the record, and you have 3 minutes.
My name's Nancy, and I guess I just wanted to comment on the TPU thing. They were talking about the rates and the fees and the increases and all that, but not once did they mention like how much is spent on like paying the employees, or like what the employees' salaries are. And so I actually like investigated it myself a little bit, because it's all public information, and there more than a few people that work at TPU that get paid like in the 6 digits. And I mean, I guess I've never met anybody that made that much money, but it just seems like we're raising rates. Like, I know life is expensive, but it seems like we're raising rates to increase other people's salaries in the 6 digits, which is crazy talk. But also, I wanted to bring up the fact that if somebody is murdered in Pierce County and it gets listed as a medical call, the police will not investigate. And then when that person's debit card gets used a month after they died at the and it gets used at the gas station right near where they were killed, the police will still not go request the video footage. Even if you're standing at the gas station with the owner of the gas station and he says, yeah, I have the footage and I would love to give it to you. Please send me a link or send an officer so I can give it to you. They still will not send anybody to do that. And it really, I think it puts everybody at risk. And I think it puts everybody in danger, really, because that means that there's like murderers walking around, and also people that steal things. Like just the other day, my debit card got used at a hotel.com website or something. And the police won't even hear me about it at all. So, I mean, I'm just saying maybe we should focus on what's in front of us before something's behind us.
Thank you.
There are no more hands at this time, Chair.
Seeing no further hands, we're going to close the community forum portion of our meeting. Thank you for giving your feedback to council. Item number 11 is other business and announcements. Is there any other business or announcements by council members? Well, as we have for the past two meetings, because of how serious it is, we want to remind members of the public to be aware that Interstate 5 through Fife will be closed in both directions overnight on Friday, October 11th and Saturday, October 12th. This is the third of four weekends, so we're halfway there. Third of four weekends where the interstate is closed in all lanes, both directions overnight, beginning at 10:30 p.m. So State Department of Transportation is constructing a new bridge connecting the new Highway 167 to the Port of Tacoma over the freeway. The closure will continue the following weekend overnight on Friday, October 17th and Saturday, October 18th. Please keep this closure in mind when traveling through the area. Ms. Long, is there any other business before council this evening?
There is not today, thank you.
With no other business before the Pierce County Council, we are adjourned.